Let's get going before your internet craps out again. Right. So first things first. If you go now, everything's moved. Where's go to the world option on the right hand side, and then into story. You should find lots of shared pages providing all information about your. Oh, he's gone again. All information about your ship. The internet's dead. You're down to 3, I think, today. Scary.
I have a large section of all kinds of.
You should have bridge, cargo deck. You might have to change it to uncategorized, actually, but bridge, cargo deck, class 1 planet diver, engineering equipment, flight deck, habitation, life support, medical, operations, processes, getting travel. That is all information about the ship you're on. That's all good. So we'll start with this one just to set things up.
Okay, uncategorized. There we go.
And then, yep, you're the class 1 planet driver, an experimental vessel, the Tangaroa, has numerous unique systems like the quantum energy teleportation power relay. It instantaneously transfers power from the reactor nexus to the front of the ship without any transmission loss. Superbolt capacitors on the hull capture the intense lightning bolts of the gas giant and slowly diffuse them into the planet's driver's power grid. To reduce oxygen and nutrient consumption, an army of autonomous drones supplement the organic crew. Additionally, the shipboard AI attendant runs over half the ship systems during normal operations. Unlike most artificial intelligences, Voita, the company that built the ship, developed Atty with a personality. They modelled her on a composite of 1,000 school teachers to heighten the crew's emotional drive to please an approachable authority figure. Despite the high level of automation, the Tangaroa has emergency and manual controls for all systems. So there you go. I think that gives you an idea of the level of fun and games we're going to have today. So, where do we get started? Background. Where's the background? Okay, so 6 years ago, Voita, that's Voinsynth's Interstellar Extraction, announced plans to expand operations into atmospheric mining and refinement. To that end, they developed the VSV Tangaroa. I can't say the bloody name. An experimental planet diver. This is the largest ship in the Voita fleet. They designed the ship to sit in the lower atmosphere of a gas giant for months, collecting liquid helium-4 from the core via remote-controlled drones and refine it on site into fluorine supermolecules. These supermolecules are vital to fuel hotter use of quantum energy transportation fields that power gravity plates, interstellar communications, and jump drives. Planet Diver is a flying city with a crew of 500 souls, 1,200 semi-independent automatons, and an advanced shipboard AI. Most crew members either oversee the work of the automatons or perform tasks outside of the drone's capacity. The last 3 months, the Tangaroa sat in the bowels of VIMP 35 R115710.97-0403446E, a Class 1 gas giant beyond the edge of the developed space. Despite a constant flood of problems to troubleshoot, the work in the reservoir has progressed without incident. And Tavis is connecting again just as he missed all the blurb. But the easiest way to get a better understanding of the characters and the life on board the Tangaroa is to sort of focus in on some of the heads of department as they go about another day in the reservoir. So basically, I can't remember what class. Well, I can't remember what roles you've got there. I think actually, interestingly, I don't think you've got all the required roles, so that could get interesting. But we'll see what happens. Okay, so first things first. I think what we'll do is we'll head down to the flight deck and see what a typical day in the life of the flight officer. I do believe that it will be Sula. Would be like so. The sortie room is dark and cramped. It's filled with a dozen piloting stations, but all but 3 sit dark as the night shift Shift wraps up their sorties and the flight officer prepares for morning briefing. Each remaining pilot wears a blacked out helmet linked to cameras of their flying drones. Suddenly, one of the pilots, Michael Hahn, calls out in alarm. "We got a problem here." Ensign Hand's free-linked drones have desynced on approach to the intake tubes. He controls two of them, but he explains, but he needs another pilot to manually fly the third. So that's where you come in.
Okay. Sula. I guess that means you require a piloting role from.
Indeed, but introduce your character, and then you can make the piloting role.
Okay. Sula, hotshot pilot. Been on this bird since she was taken out of construction dock,
Yeah.
and I've been working my way up through the ranks and have achieved head pilot status.
Sounds good to me. Well, yeah, so
Right.
go for it. So yes, I think we need a piloting role. You'll need to take control of the third drone and manually fly it back.
Okay.
Well, hang on, I better give you some bennies, hadn't I?
Oh yes, that would be nice. But luckily, by the looks of things, I don't need it. As long as it's
Indeed.
not a
Well,
A minus.
indeed. Well, that's successful. You're basically without your help there, the drone was spun out of control and disappeared into the helium sea far below the ship. But fortunately, as you're able to take remote control of the drone and fly it back, Michael Hand looks at you and goes, "Damn, that was close. All the flight links are bugging out since Cole caught his wild flyer with the pincher."
Ah.
Hand doesn't know much. Okay, so apparently he ran launch control hangar for most of his shift. He's only heard the scuttlebutt apparently about Ensign Danny's cold adventure to recover a lost collector with the repair drone. One of the other pilots, Ensign Amadi, mentions that the maintenance crew found something attached to the drone. But before you can ask any further, your personal data device bleeps indicating it's time for you to attend a staff officer meeting. Off we go.
Okay.
I don't think we have.
We'll look at this later. I have a meeting to go to.
Indeed, and I shall award you a point of conviction. So next is the logistics officer. Don't think we have a logistics officer. We move on to the navigation officer. We don't have a navigation officer. Our engineering officer. I do believe we have our engineering officer. Aloysius Buck Buchanan, it looks like there. So the reactor's hum shifts in pitch as the Tangaroa cycles up for day shift. A dozen crewmates traverse the catwalks, winding around the massive structure within engineering. They inspect the seals on hundreds of tubes connected to the cylindrical machine. A dozen feet away and 60 feet up in the air hovers a drone, not one of the small aerodynes, but a humanoid labourer. Aloysius, as chief, you send a remote shut-off command from the chief, not you. Your chief, not you're the officer. Sorry, the chief sends a remote shut-off command to the Pioneer. Crewmate Lana Fisher throws a bolt onto the gravity plate below the drone. The moment the bolt passes over the plate, it whips straight up, hits the ceiling 10 feet past the drone. Lana Fisher says, "No joy." Normally, the gravity plates use quantum energy teleportation to pull gravitons from another location. This gives the effect of gravity without the required mass. The malfunctioning QET plate projects gravity up and traps the drone in midair. The automaton is heavy enough that the waves of force cannot push it all the way to the ceiling. As engineering officer, you're going to have to see if you can fix the issue, Aloysius. He's there. Where's he gone? He's gone to sleep. I'm going to give up. I'm going to go and cry now. I read all that and he's not here. Where is he?
Oh.
Crash showed a disk. Did he have a system crash?
I don't know.
Oh, show him is still being logged into Discord.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We'll give him a couple of minutes. How is everybody?
Oh, well, my internet's crap, but other than that, new cable on Friday. Hopefully everything will be fine. How about
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, not so bad. Not so
We
bad.
had some snow and freezing rain this morning, but our internet seems to be doing just fine.
Twice here.
I do have a question while we're
Ask away.
waiting for Aloysius to rejoin us. I noticed when I rolled that piloting roll, I did not see a wild die.
Mm.
Did I do something wrong? Am I not set as a wild card, or?
Says you're a wild card. Let's add you to the combat tracker.
Roll something else and see if a wild die appears.
Apart from the fact I just rolled you a critical failure, but it does seem to be it does seem to be rolling for me. Yeah, just roll something. See, try something else.
That didn't roll a wild die.
But that didn't roll a skill. Did you just roll?
Okay, here. Let me re-roll my piloting again.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the wild die.
Yeah, okay, there it is. That did it. Oh boy, did it do
Good
it.
wild die.
Okay. Right. So, oh yes. Yeah. Actually, while we're waiting, I'll just go over there are the setting rules for this adventure, seeing as we're still waiting for Aloysius. Oh, actually, yeah. So the other thing I need to, so as I was saying, in the under uncategorized story, there's all entries about your ship you may find useful, and somewhere else I managed to lose my copy of it. Okay. There is there's the basically transit station map of your ship. Got these like
Handy.
That's how you can move around the ship at high velocity. And we got our Aloysius back. Okay, where were we? I've lost my train. Okay, so creative combat is enabled, conviction is enabled, energy management, which is basically you can transfer energy from propulsion, weapons, and shields. I don't think your ship's got shields, so that could get interesting.
You don't have shields?
Weapons, I meant. Sorry, not shields.
Oh. Okay.
Extreme environments, which obviously is the unpleasantness. Gritty damage is turned on. And just to make things more interesting and just to see how it works for Deadlands next year, hard choices I've turned on as well. I've got no Bennett.
No.
I've got no bennies.
This is true until we spend them and then you get them. I believe with hard choices on, even if you've got Joker's Wild on, drawing a Joker doesn't give you a Benny.
We shall see if it's programmed.
Oh dear.
I don't think he's coming back. I think we've lost him.
I believe it's programmed so that it doesn't give you a Benny, even though if you've got Joker's Wild, it should.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
But you didn't mention Joker's Wild.
Well, Joker's Wild is no longer a setting rule. It's in the core rules.
No, it's a standard one, isn't it? Yeah.
Swade. We can always come back to the engineer, but I think they're meant to be. It says run him in order, but I don't know where he is.
Okay. Explain to as a new person what some of those. I understand what hard choices is, but there was a couple of other things you mentioned that I do not understand.
What gritty damage.
Yes. What does gritty damage do?
Every time you take a wound, you roll on the injury table, and basically something in your body gets badly injured, so you can start losing.
And that means that I either have to spend a Benny to remove that, or can I spend a Benny to remove that?
Once you've got it, until the wound is healed, you're stuck with it.
Okay.
It's like basically broken ribs or pulled tendons and stuff like that. It basically starts applying penalties to your character. And it actually reduces your stats usually, which is fun.
I'm going to be very busy.
Creative combat is just basically it's known as the creative combat table.
Mhm.
So basically, normally when you do a test on someone, if you don't use the creative combat table, you'll just shake them automatically. But with creative combat, you actually get to roll on the table, and see what happens. So you can get all stuff. As gritty damages a go, I better let the bennies play. Thank you very much. They send some bennies your way.
Yeah. I will wave to them and say thank you.
Indeed. He's not coming back, is he? He's gone.
He appears to have vanished.
Aloysius has been eaten by a grue.
It must be dark.
It must be dark where he is.
Okay, sorry. I'm back now.
He's back.
There
He's
you
been
are.
thrown up by a grue.
Oh, yeah, it happened. Sorry, there was a minor emergency came up that I had to deal with. So
That's okay. Right.
There's an emergency going on. Still an emergency.
Okay.
oh, is there still an emergency?
Okay. Back to So I'll read it all again because I don't know what you had, and so we're in
I heard virtually none of it.
heading down to engineering. So the reactor's hum shifts in pitch as the Tangaroa cycles up for day shift. A dozen crewmates traverse catwalks, winding around the massive structure within engineering. They inspect seals on hundreds of tubes connected to the cylindrical machine. A dozen feet away, 60 feet up, in the air hovers a drone, not one of the small aero drones, but a humanoid labourer. So the chief sends a remote shut-off command from their pioneer. Crewmate Lana Fisher throws a bolt onto the gravity plate below the drone. The moment the bolt passes over the plate, it whips straight up and hits the ceiling, 10 feet past the drone. Lana looks at you and says, "No joy." Normally, gravity plates use the quantum energy teleportation to pull gravitons from another location. This gives the effect of gravity without the required mass. The malfunctioning QET plates the malfunctioning QET plate is projecting gravity up and has trapped the drone in mid-air. The automaton is heavy enough that the waves of force cannot push it all the way to the ceiling, but it is floating in the middle. So everyone's looking at your whole team's looking at you, Aloysius. Repair the problem.
And then I need to make a repair roll, don't I?
But introduce your character first.
Oh, okay. Aloysius is kind of your average-looking guy. He tends to be grumbling quite a bit about everything. Especially he grumbles about the captain and his damn requirements, quote unquote, as well as his stickler for protocol. So he gets things done. He just doesn't like doing it the way that it's supposed to, kind of thing. And that's why he's got that shirt with the big question mark. How am I going to do it? How do you want me to do it? I'm not doing it that way.
Oh, thank you very much. Let's see if you can repair the grav plating.
Let us. I don't. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, yeah. I think I repaired it.
Yes, I think you did. Okay.
Right.
Yep. On a success, the drone gently lands and resumes its normal operations. Lana Fisher looks at you and says, "Trade, I write the incident report. You ask about the dust-up in habitation. 10 credits say it's another distiller." Apparently. But apparently before you can find out more, your personal data also informs you've got to head to staff meeting.
Of course.
Let's
not get anything fixed. Let's go to meet.
CCS officer. We don't have an ECS. Well, we have a wellness officer though, don't we?
We do.
Indeed. So we'll pan to the outside. We'll pan to the office. The outside the office window stretches dozens of doors. Each displays an augmented reality name over the top and status. At this time of night, most read occupied. The interior of this office, however, is compact and pleasant. A rug covers the metal desk, and 2 plush chairs occupy the centre of the room. Executive Officer Zakhar Burkov paces back and forth in the small pace, furious. Usually unpleasant, Burkov loses whatever charm he might have had during the tantrum he's been having, in your office, sir, Kendra. We will make an example of crewmate Silver, I should say. His act of discipline cannot be allowed to spread. The last thing this tub of layabouts needs is encouragement to disrespect their superior officer. The XO basically makes it quite clear he wants Miguel Silva confined to quarters and docked pay for 3 weeks. As far as you can tell, Zakhar overheard Silva brag about a secret cargo he escorted to medical and made a joke at the XO's expense. Burkov is angrier about the joke than you get the impression he's probably angrier more about the joke than the breach of protocol. Both punishments are outside regulations and excessive, in your opinion. So, how do you want to deal with the situation? Introduce your character first.
Well, Kendra is a more than averagely attractive lady in her early 30s. She's a counsellor and a qualified psychologist, but she has also passed her command training and holds the rank of commander, just the same as the XO does. She's also completely aware of the trope that she is inversely her effectiveness is inversely proportional to the amount of cleavage that she shows, and as a result, she almost always wears something high-collared. And she will put her hand on the XO's arm gently and smile at him and say,
Now, Zach, there's no need for any of that. I appreciate that what crewmate Silver said might have been a little. Well, it may have caused some tension, but seriously, you don't want to come down on him like a ton of bricks and create an even worse situation where the crew are all talking about you taking out some kind of personal vendetta for what was really meant just as a small joke. Perhaps if you allow me to have a conversation with him and point out that carrying on in that kind of way might cause difficulties for him in the future if he's not able to be at least a little more circumspect. And we can leave any unpleasantness that might then reflect on your record later.
I love the voice mod.
What do you say, Zach? Can we do it that way?
How persuasive do you think you were?
"Oh, I think I was pretty damn persuasive."
Let's find out. I mean, I agree, but it depends it's really down to him.
Now, I didn't get a raise, and I kind of want one, so I'm going to use my charismatic edge to take the free reroll I have on persuasion rolls.
Okie dokie. Ooh, that was nearly a quick fail.
No, I'll stick with the 7.
So convince. You are able to convince the XO that to accept a write-up and 10 days of docked pay, apparently. But placated, Burkov storms out of the office just as your personal data device reminds you it's time to attend the staff officer meeting.
Commander Burkov, would you wait up just a moment? We might as well share the tram.
That sounded better that time. Okay. So now we shall now move last but no means least to the science. Not the science officer. Sorry, the medical officer. And that looked interesting. The science officer. The medical officer. Sterile and organized. Medical is designed to evoke a planet-side hospital instead of sick bay. Private rooms, diagnostic areas, and supply rooms encircle the care room. A trio of emergency response drones charge on the ceiling, ready to deploy first responders at a moment's notice. Inside the surgical suite, Dr. Spooked, apparently, the medical officer, inspects a large bulbous creature. The air quality monitor on the wall creeps into yellow as the gas leaks from a pair of valves on either side of the ovular body. Long tendrils halfway between kelp and feathers spill off the side of the operating table and pool on the floor. By all indications, the creature is dead. Unflapped by the presence of the first complex alien organism ever encountered by humankind, the nurse lays out tools on a side table. Ensign Hideki Tomori turns to the medical officer. Doctor, are you ready to begin?
Absolutely, he is. He's a confident, an older fella. Not good bedside manner, but very kind and very firm about his procedure.
Okie dokie. Well, so basically, you start the autopsy, noting points of interest. You note points of interest before the autopsy begins. You note the small equidistant bulbs running along the length of the tendrils. The creature has no obvious ocular organs. A circular scar at the top of the sac is the only blemish on the creature. Obviously, to actually perform the autopsy, you will require a healing roll. See how well you perform the autopsy. Well, it is the first alien creature ever discovered by humankind. So you can.
Oh, that's the brain, not the stomach.
You can obviously spend a penny if you wish to re-roll, or you can or take the failure. You just need to get a 4.
You're a doctor, damn it, not a xenobiologist.
Okay, did that spend the penny?
So you can either do is you can either pick up the Benny and sort of from your pool on your character sheet and drop it on the healing skill die, the dice for the healing skill, or you could just drop one in chat and just re-roll healing manually. I don't know which way you do it. Oh, we got a 4. Okay. I did give a Benny for the Doctor line bewildered, but I'll give him another Benny because you told me to as well. There we go. Not fair. They've got 6. They've got 5 and 6 each. I've got none. It's really not fair. Mind you, that does mean there's 20. Oh, hang on. He spent a penny. I've got a penny. I've got 1. It automatically gave me a penny. Ha! 24.
Oh, that works.
It does work. It didn't last time we tested it. There's 23 potential pennies for me. Anyway, this shouldn't stop you spending. Okay, so anyway, where was I? Yes, the doctor realizes. Hang on a sec. Yes,
That's not his stomach. That's the brain.
There's a slight delay because I did notice one time that one of your players was commenting on stuff, so I put a 15-second delay in, so hopefully I can catch him out. Anyway, that player has gone actually, so I could probably turn it off now. Where was I? Yes, you realise that you almost cut into the sack too quickly, and fortunately you realise obviously that you do not do that. So you determine that the creature contains a helium-3 in its flight sac. The valve allows for rudimentary locomotion. But the creature you surmise the creature mostly seems to float through the atmosphere on gas currents. While floating, the conductive tendrils will collect static electricity from the atmosphere to nourish the creature. There we go. Ensign Tamori and the medical officer, you exit the suite together and wait for the gas to dissipate before you can continue the autopsy. While basically. Obviously, you go back and finish the autopsy, and then your personal data device reminds you that it's time for you to head to the staff meeting. And I do believe I owe you, so everyone should have one now. Right, we shall now we shall now rejoin everyone at the staff officer meeting number 112.1. the
Which
tiny.
takes place where?
That's a very good question. I don't know. Probably you probably have one of those, a conference room type environment, wouldn't you? They always did in Star Trek, somewhere where they met. So I assume it's something like that. Let's have a look at the map. It's probably. Let's say it's probably. I don't know actually.
Between the bridge and
Part of the
operations,
bridge
probably.
complex.
No, I don't think it's in the bridge complex.
Habitation. Be my guess.
Yeah, I think habitation makes a good sense. Does it tell me? It might actually tell me in a second. Yeah, no, yeah, because you're not on the bridge, but the captain is, because that's what I was going to say. The tiny camera drones on your Pioneers. Oh, that's it. You're probably on your Pioneers, on your data things, spin to life and hover 2 feet away from you. So actually, you probably will go to your personal offices. Sorry, you probably I forget. You're in your You go to your personal offices, and it's a teleconference.
So it's a remote meeting.
It is a remote meeting. Yes. The tiny camera drones in your Pioneers spin to life and hover 2 feet away from you. A large augmented reality window opens to show the captain in the crow's nest on the bridge. She nods. Welcome to everyone. Begin recording. Voiks Interstellar Extraction Space Vessel Tangaroa Staff Officer Meeting Standard Rotation 112 Shift 1. Welcome everybody. I'm sure you have questions about the rumours. At 0200 last rotation, Ensign Daniel Cole retrieved an errant aerogyne using a primary repair drone. When the flight mechanics inspected the drone, they disc. Captain Monroe stops abruptly. She looks up at the main viewport window and squints. The Pioneer drone automatically twists to follow her eye line. For a moment, you see nothing but the gas giant's expanse before you. Then you see a floating bulb. A long tendril trails behind it. Thank you. Sparks of electricity surge along the leg before they suddenly jump to another identical creature. The sky flickers as the jolts flit back and forth between a dozen bulbs. You realise that even within the Tangaroa's hull, the hairs on your back of your arms stand up. A giant bolt of lightning races down from above and smashes into one of the super bolt capacitors. The massive metal frame suddenly glows white hot from the first strike. The blast's intensity briefly illuminates the side of the captain's face. The navigation officer's voice echoes through the Pioneer's link and the ship's intercom with a ship-wide storm warning. The second strike slags the capacitor. Helm, hard to port! Clear the... Suddenly, a shadow darkens Captain Moreau's face. She glances off to the right, her eyes wide in horror. The Pioneer swivels. Everything moves in slow motion. An impossibly large eel-like leviathan, as long as the Tangaroa, reaches out of the liquid helium sea below. The incredible surface tension holds the helium in place, barely affected by the monster that emerges. A spined, hardened carapace covers the leviathan's head. 2 dull, hollow sockets mimic eyes. Then the carapace splits to reveal the true head within. It twists in the air to envelop scores of floating bulbs right over the Tangaroa. Captain Moreau you hear Captain Moreau voice catching, going, "Brace, brace, brace!" The Leviathan impacts the ship. The entire vessel rotates to the side, flinging you and everything around you into a wall. The Tangaroa is a sturdy ship built to withstand crushing depths of a gas giant. A design put to the test as the weight of the monster forces the ship down further than it's ever gone before. The last thing you see before blacking out is a spine clip the top of the bridge. It buckles the ceiling in. At this depth, the pressure of the hull can no longer withstand the crushing weight, and 2,000 atmospheres above it, the crow's nest crumples inwards and flattens. The link goes static. The captain is dead.
Oh.
And we're all unconscious, apparently.
And you're all unconscious. But you are not.
And you're probably going to want me to go up there and fix that too, aren't you?
Okay. Basically, okay. The next thing I can't talk. The next thing basically, each of you in your own offices eventually will awaken. You notice, according to ship's chronometer, that it is 90 minutes after the impact. And all you can hear, all you can see, sort of relayed to your personal data devices is that basically half the ship seems to be in error status. I would say is the easiest thing. Main power is out everywhere. Some critical systems are operating on emergency battery power, but that won't last long. Every section has dead and injured to deal with, and small electrical fires that threaten to quickly escalate into a ship threatening wildfire.
Our internal communications work.
And you said it was 90 minutes that had passed?
Yes, 90 minutes. So I'm just checking something here because this is interesting. Doesn't tell me what I was expecting to see here. So, okay, so it's for 90 minutes. Okay.
First thing I think that Doc is going to do is make sure his medical stations are working and try to get control of his area to start with.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm
And
just
the councillor wants to see if internal communications are working, and what she does next will depend on whether or not they are.
well, indeed. So what I need to do actually is I need to go to the party. Why does it say Dr. Spock with lots of W's after it? Someone's got push to talk, haven't they?
It's V's because I have a V to push to talk. I'm going to have to fix that, I guess.
Let's go. I've just fixed it. Menu, add to tracker, add PCs to tracker. So let me see now. Sula, you're on the flight deck, aren't you? So Sula on the flight deck. Endra,
I'm in habitation.
you're in habitation, of course you are. Dr. Spooked is in medical. And Aloysius is in engineering. Okay, so the main power's out everywhere. Critical systems, they don't, but that won't last long. Every section is has dead energy to deal with, and small electrical fires that threaten to quickly escalate. Okay, so first things first. Apparently, all of you will find that there are fires in every section of the ship. So first things first, you can make electronics or repair rolls to safely quench the flames.
Can Kendra make a persuasion roll to get people from the habitation deck to quench the flames as a team instead?
I think this is basically you're there, it's your job to fix it type thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they'll fix their area, but your room's about to burst into flame.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So as it stands right now, all of you will put out the flames on your particular areas. However, it looks like Sula will unfortunately potentially take fire damage.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Trying to find the right. Oh, that one right there.
Okay.
There.
Okay, no problem. You are all able to put out your fires in your areas without much mayhap. Obviously, also if anybody wishes to check on nearby dead and injured, you can attempt healing rolls, be it skilled or unskilled.
Oh, I do. I certainly wish to do that.
So do I.
Right, apparently, with a success.
Even unskilled, I did it.
Hey. Okay. The captain. Okay, so where is it?
Oh.
So checking nearby with a success, the subordinates named in the officer's introductory sheet is in shock, which quickly comes around and serves as an extra with D6 and all attributes and key skills for that area. So that's okay. You can have some help. So, that's interesting. However, it looks like
from Kendra's point of view, is that the EXO or
I don't think you
Room
get
and
one.
Silver?
I don't think you get one because of who you are. I think it's more for the other three. So I think at the moment, Lana Fisher is one of the dead and injured. That's fine. So, didn't actually. It's fine. It puts that in a line of text. I don't believe he told me that one. Statted them up. So, just have to. We'll just have to. Well, if we need them, we'll have to create them. So, hang on a second. Let's.
If we need them, they just roll a d6, don't they?
Yeah. Of course, I just roll a d6 in anything, and I'll give them a d8 in their particular area. Okay. Sorry. After each of okay. After each of files, checks the injured or if there's any. Okay. Pioneer's situation. Right. Well, it says the captain is dead and the EXO doesn't answer, so I get the impression that you are able to communicate with each other, and therefore you can set up a conference call if you so wish.
I certainly do.
Over it.
This is Commander Mabasi calling any rank officers that can hear me. Captain, Commander, is there anybody there?
Obviously, the three others of you will have picked up that message, so you can respond accordingly.
Hey, Doc, will you go up to life support and make sure there's no fires burning up there? I'm going to come in here to operations, make sure there's nothing burning there. Kendra, you go ahead and just check and make sure that everybody's alive. Maybe step into medical for psychiatric assistance if needed. Sula, can you figure out what the hell just hit us, or where it is, rather?
Excuse me, Aloysius. I don't mean to be pernickety, but as the captain's not here to do it, I do want to point out that earlier on, I'm not sure how to say this. Earlier on, you were in direct violation of Space Corps Directive 1742, and I have to ask you right now, are you able to program a VCR? It's important.
I don't even want to know.
Come on, Aloysius. Space Corps Directive number 592 clearly states that in an emergency situation involving 2 or more officers of equal rank, seniority will be granted to whichever officer can program a VCR.
Turned into Red Dwarf, have we?
Of course I can program a VCR. Hello? I programmed half the stuff on this damn thing.
That's fine, but will you please remove the ginger toupee because you're not allowed to be on active duty while wearing it?
This is meant to be a serious horror one, and obviously it's going to be a farce, and I don't mind at all.
Can I keep the mustache at least?
There's nothing in the directives about a mustache, but ginger toupees are forbidden.
Right! Only in zero gravity, I thought. But anyway.
No, that's oral sex with false teeth.
Okay, can we
No, take my headset off.
get back to business and make sure we're not burning up here, people, please?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Right.
I'll see if I can make my way to the cargo deck.
Okay, Aloysius, as you look at your sort of control panel, you notice that every basically all the emergency bulkheads have locked. Atty, the ship's AI isn't responding. So to solve the first issue, someone needs to travel to the security section within operations and manually override the lockdown. However, restoring Atty requires a trip into the bowels of operations. So you can all choose to you can try to tackle these issues one at a time, or you can sort of split up and do them in parallel. So both tasks are in operations, but cut off by bulkhead doors and dead transit cars.
If bulkhead doors are all closed, how do we get to operations?
Yes. You're basically the only way you're going to be able to get to the sections you need to go is by breaking into the vents or the superstructure inside the ship. Conversely, of course, you can exit the ship entirely through an airlock and walk along the hull.
I believe we're at like the pressure of a 2,000 atmospheres, I think going outside is a bad idea.
Well, if it says that, obviously you've got pressure. It's 200 atmospheres, wasn't it? I think, obviously, you just because it says you can do that, obviously you must have spacesuits that can withstand it. It's just the problem with the bridge was, of course, its structure and integrity was compromised, wasn't it? Hence it imploded, basically.
Mm.
I think you're okay as long as the integrity of your armored spacesuits are okay, but it's probably better to stay inside the ship given the lightning storm that was going on out there.
Aloysius, I can gather up what members of the engineering crew I can find on the habitation deck and take them to try and repair Atty in operations, but we will have to crawl through the crawl spaces, and it's very dusty there.
Oh, I can get us past the bulkheads. That's not a problem. That's 3 switches and a screwdriver. Yeah, let me work my way that way, and I'll open up the bulkhead so we can actually start moving around this junk.
Very well, we'll wait for that, and I'll gather as many of the engineering crew as I can in habitation and get them ready on the other side of the bulkhead.
I'm going
So what kind of check do I make to get to operations?
Okay, so first things first, to get into the ductwork, basically you need to make a successful repair roll. And then you'll need to make an athletics roll for all the climbing and wriggling required. Failing the repair roll costs.
Aloysius, when you say it takes three bolts and a screwdriver, would that be the red left-handed screwdriver that you left in my office when you were having the altercation about the illegal still?
Is that where it is? Damn.
It would appear, obviously, on it basically, it appears that basically the critical failure isn't so much that you fail to open the ducting, as you say, you can do that quite easily. But what happens is, as you start heading down the duct vents, you realise that basically internal damage to the ship has totally isolated engineering from the rest of the ship, with the bulkhead doors closed. So you that leaves you having to go over the top, or you can't physically take part in either of the 2 repair rolls that are required.
It would seem that I'm the closest to operations, so perhaps I should make my way through the ducting and using the PDD, you can talk me through what needs to be done?
It depends if you can get it. You'll need to make a repair check to get into the ducting in the first place.
Yes, but I'm sure Aloysius, you can talk me through what I need to do to get into the ducting correctly.
Basically, it sounds like I need to make a repair check to support.
I think you can.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm asking for. I'm asking for.
I'd agree
support
that.
roll here.
Yeah, exactly. No, I completely get that, and I completely am on board with that. So yeah, make a repair check to talk Kendra through.
You'll get a +1 for that.
Okie doke. So I'm rolling my repair unskilled, but I've got a plus.
Yeah. It did say you needed electronics for everything, but they make sure all the characters have electronics. But now they're throwing all these other ones at you. Oh!
I gave really good
yes,
directions on how to get
Thank
through
you,
here.
Aloysius. That's exactly what I needed.
Well, like I say, Aloysius, it's not the fact that you critically failed trying to get into the ducting. It's just the critical failure is because you got in there and then you realised that basically it's, the destruction of the bridge has crushed the ductwork that way. Okie dokie. So that's okay. Okay, so that gets us to the doctor and Sula.
The doctor paid careful attention to what the engineer was saying, and he's going to try the same trick on his door and then make his way to life support.
Go for it. I'm going to say your +1 will apply to everyone then.
And I can do an electronics roll for that?
No, it's a repair roll.
Then I have to do an unskilled?
I'm afraid so, but you get a +1 bonus. Oh, you look at that. Aloysius is obviously amazing at telling people how to do stuff. Okay, so that just leaves Sula, who also will have to make a repair roll with a +1 bonus from Aloysius.
Great. I know how to tell people to get off, get away, huh?
Oh! It would appear that Sula is also unable to use the vents. It looks like the flight deck area is also isolated. So, Aloysius and Sula, your only other choice is to stay put or try going over it, which would involve strapping on a spacesuit and walking along the hull.
Okay. I have to try to go to the hull outside, to go to operations from outside.
Yes, basically, either you have to just let the doctor and Kendra sort out the problems in operations, or the two of you are going to have to don spacesuits, go to the nearest airlock, which you do have access to, with a manual override, and basically with your activate with your magnetic boots. Then you just have to walk along the outside hull of the ship in the electrical storm to get to operation.
There's no need to put yourself at risk, Sula. We will get the bulkhead doors open as soon as we can. You just sit tight. Everything will be fine.
All right. I tell you, yeah, I'm not much at repairs, so there really isn't much point in me trying to do that. So I will see what I can do about maintaining stable flight and see if it's possible to get us to a higher level and get us up a little higher up out of this gas giant. Maybe. I think that would be more appropriate.
Okay. So all we need is athletics rolls from the doc and Sula. Not Sula, sorry, Kendra. I apologise. You crawl through the venting. Failures just basically delay you.
I think I'm going to have to spend a penny on that.
Yay, I've got 3 bennies now. Oh, 4 bennies!
So I might have to do one more. I don't want to be delayed because other people are relying on me.
Oh dear.
Oh, curses. I just can't do it.
Well, you're just obviously stuck somewhere. You'll just have to, you're basically from your perspective, you probably got as far as that, and then the vents was also, you found the destroyed vents, which means it looks like it's all down to the doctor.
And it's a terrible shame that since I'm on the habitation deck that I couldn't find a single NPC to be with me.
Most of them are dead or injured or locked in themselves. Well, you got a D6. You could grab one. I mean, we said they've got D6 and everything.
There you go. Look, they got through.
Okay. Are you taking your nurse with you, Doctor?
Yes, and or if I or any engineering that I could find along the way.
Okie dokie.
So there you go. My NPC got through, and then they supported me, which gave me, with a roll of a 6 and then an ace, a +2, which means I succeeded as well.
Yeah, but you'll be delayed, so that's fine. Okay, so
I succeeded.
Yes, but if you failed first and then you had to re-roll. That basically failures in this don't necessarily mean you can't do it. It just delays stuff. I am keeping track of time.
Spending bennies for the re-roll doesn't actually change that we failed.
Yeah, spending bennies do change it, but what you resulted in the end was that basically doing a new roll with a support roll first, which I'm treating as a delayed reaction. It's a second roll, not the same roll. If you think that's
okay,
unless you're disputing that one. Anyway, basically, when you get into operations, security is running on emergency power. There's only 2 crewmen in the area, and they both appear to be dead.
I'm gonna wonder what killed.
Well, examining the bodies, you don't need to make any rolls for that. They appear to have been slashed and torn apart.
That's the problem. Sounds like we've got something's come aboard in those 90 minutes we were unconscious.
Well, that admittedly that was your.
Communicate that to everybody else, folks. I think we have some company on board. Keep your eyes open for some bug-eyed monster.
As you're saying that, you notice that you notice now that what you originally thought was a worker drone that was obviously damaged in the impact. You now notice that it seems to be covered in blood, and you deduce that it looks like the worker drone is what killed these two crewmen, but they were able to destroy the culprit at the same time.
Ooh, runaway mad drones.
Indeed.
Doctor, may I suggest that once you've got the bulkheads open, we don't reactivate Atty?
Well, we can certainly reevaluate the situation at the time. In the meantime, yeah, what's the button I need to push down here, please?
Okay. There are stun. Basically both of the dead crewmen had stun batons. Well, they still have stun buttons in their lifeless hands.
Yeah, we'll pick up those, and they may become useful. Any other gear that I might want to be salvaged off them, like a repair kit or something like that?
Unfortunately, it's just stun batons, apparently.
Better than nothing. Thank you.
They're in. So basically, I've put them in the party sheet. So if you want, so basically, the party sheet's the icon up the top right with like one main person with two people standing behind it. If you click on that, it will open up the party sheet, and on there should be an inventory tab, and there you should see two stun batons. So if you want to take one, you just literally just drag it and drop it in your inventory, and then you can equip it, and it will show on your combat tab after you equip it.
I have a laser pistol, so if no one else is armed, feel free to take it. Take one.
Sure, if you do, I know the NPC does.
I'm going to try to take one.
So,
If you're trying,
most of the archetypes had a laser
that worked.
pistol.
I'm good.
I know, but I'm getting the impression because it's a civilian ship. Although the archetypes did, I don't think you do. If that makes sense.
So I shall get rid of the one that I took.
6 years ago, I'm just checking because I seem to recall seeing something about no weapons. There are no lethal weapons aboard the ship. So, yeah. So all the crew must wear their duty uniform, always carry their Pioneer data terminal. They also have implanted ocular lenses to display the ship's augmented reality interfaces. Any other equipment is typically located near their work site. As each staff officer begins their duty station, they can have any equipment reasonably related to the performance function. Oh, yeah, sorry. While I remember, you can spend a Benny to get a Dev 1 piece of equipment. Only Dev 1. You can't, So yeah, there are no lethal weapons aboard the ship. So your archetypes may say you've got one, but because those are archetypes, but this particular version of those characters, I'm afraid, do not have lethal weapons.
Oh, okay. So I do not have a laser pistol then.
I'm afraid you don't have a laser pistol. A military pilot would have a laser pistol. Unfortunately, Sula is a civilian pilot. Anyway, the dock's in operations with your nurse. So.
All right, and I will delete the laser pistol out of my inventory.
Okay, those can simply override the lock. Okay, so Doc, basically Aloysius tells you which switch you need to flick, and basically the second you flick that switch, it opens all bulkheads and reactivates the transit tubes, which now means which means everyone can now freely move using the transit system around the ship. Unless, of course, you want to do a selective override. You can flick a switch and just unlock everywhere. If you want to do a selective override, of course, that would be a little more tricky. So,
Well, let's keep it simple, and when the engineer gets here, he can do the fancy.
Indeed, you just flick the switch. Okay. I'm trying to make this head so that those undocked data streaming in from the bulkhead circuits indicate that some of the sealed sections are okay. Data streaming in. Okay. You're about. So there we go. Data streaming in from bulkheads indicates that some of the sealed sections should remain sealed due to hull breaches or fires. So it is possible to analyze the sections and unlock them one by one at the potential cost of valuable time. If you attempt a selective override, a one-person dramatic task requires 4 tokens in 3 rounds. You attempt using electronics at -2 or repair at -2. Anyone can support as usual. Everyone else can offer advice or encouragement over the Pioneer network with a -2 penalty. Or apparently, it doesn't tell me what happens if you just flick the switch. So it says you can just unlock them all.
Please be careful, Doctor. Perhaps we should just allow the chief in. If you can open just a single door to let the chief in, and then he can make sure that we can open bulkheads so that we can use the external vacuum to put out fires and not make things worse.
Okay, it's a one-person dramatic task for the doc.
Well, it may also be a matter of flip the switch and anything that isn't open to space or fire opens up, because the system would be smart enough to kind of tell the difference.
Well, I would have
We're
thought
not that
so.
lucky.
Now, it does say a selective override, so you can flick a switch and it will base. So I think I see. Yeah, I'll read it back. Those who come here can simply override the lockdown, which opens all bulkheads and reactivates transit tubes. However, that will indicate some should remain sealed due to hull breaches or fires. It's possible. So it looks like you've got to do the selective override, and I think with the AI, without the AI online, yeah, it's a bit of a laborious manual process. So we're going. I assume you don't want to just flick a switch because I think you'll end up
Dead.
Well, I think, yeah. Well, not necessarily you won't be dead, but you will possibly kill quite large numbers of the crew in sections adjacent to hull breach sections. Obviously, any crew that were in the section that hull breach, they're already dead.
If we open all of the bulkheads, then every section is adjacent to a hull breach.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to worry about the club, actually. So, okay. So, basically, it's going to be a 3-round, one-person dramatic task. I'm not worrying too much about it.
Support.
But you can support. However, because you're not physically present, it's a -2 on a support roll over the network, it says. So, and to actually do the rolls, it's actually... to do the rolls, even then, it's the doc's already going to be electronics at -2 or repair at -4, I believe. So this is not good. This is, but he does.
You can do this, Doctor. Think of it just like performing an operation.
Just like surgery.
Yeah. Okay, that's
I'm going to try the reroll.
That's a +1
No,
from
no
Ken.
better, no worse.
Okay, so the doc's on 3. Oh, 12. 8, 12. 8, 12. So the doc rolls a 4, and then that is -2, but then gets +2 from Aloysius, +1 from Kendra. Sulu, do you want to offer any helpful encouragement?
Yes. Just as the counselor says, just like doing an operation, and is easy peasy. So, would that be an electronics or a repair?
If you make, you can justify what you want it to be. You don't have to be. If you can think of a way that if you can think of a way that it's basically a piloting role, and you can work out how you could roll piloting to help someone remotely fix something. I don't have a problem with that, as long as you can come up with a valid reason. That's the great thing about support.
A valid reason to use my piloting role to do
Indeed.
a repair.
Exactly. To help someone make a repair, not do a repair yourself.
I understand. Oh my.
Or you could just roll electronics.
All right. I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, that's later. Yeah. I've never worked out if it's exactly as rules as written, but that's the way I've always interpreted it. You can use any skill you like as long as you can come up with a valid reason. Okay, so on the first round, the doc gets a 5. Okay. On the second, oh god, you're getting all the. It's okay. You didn't fail on it. You got an ace. Okay, so you've got 2 more rounds, and you need 3 more tokens. So, how are you going to help this time? So the doc's got a 2 at the moment.
You're doing well, Doctor. Don't worry. Don't panic.
Doc's got a 3 at the moment.
Fine. Everything's going to be absolutely fine. Slow and steady, careful and calm.
I'm getting so many bennies out of this.
I'll re-roll that.
That's
there's a +1. There's a +1 with the free re-roll.
Okay, so the doc's on a 4. So unless someone could get, I can't see you getting a raise here, which is going to be a problem.
It is as easy as seeing where you need to go and making your way in through all the bits and pieces that you need to do, just like flying a plane.
Go on, I'll allow it. Well, why not? Oh dear. Oh well. 2 successes. Unless you want to spend a penny, give me another nice penny. I've got 5 pennies now.
On a private channel, Kendra says.
I want to work on your analogy.
Thanks.
Okay, the final round. You have 2
Just
successes.
Keep the damn ship straight and level, and tell us if you're about to hit any kind of turbulence. Damn it!
Actually, I don't think this ship's under control at the moment. Oh! I think the doc's pulled it off.
Ace of clubs 3 times.
I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why it keeps showing the ace every time I deal a card. But it's probably a quirk of me not actually going through rounds because it's only the doc doing it. The doc's got an 8. That's actually your 4. You don't even need to help the doc on the last one. He's done it.
Just like blood vessels.
Yeah.
Well done, Doc. Very well done.
I definitely have to give the doc a conviction for that. So, okay, so the lockdown would be lifted whether the task succeeds or fails. Beginning all 4 task tokens earns a point of damage control. You have got your first damage control token. There you go. You didn't know that.
Sounds ominous. What are they for?
I'm just going to... Basically, throughout the adventure, you have opportunities to make vital repairs in a timely manner and get the ship going again. If you manage to accrue 6 or more damage control points during these missions, you will be able to get the ship free from the atmosphere and achieve stable orbit.
And that's what they're.
And if you gather 4 or 5 damage control tokens, you are able to get the ship high enough to launch the escape pod. If at the end of the adventure there's 3 or fewer damage control points, basically the ship will get as high as it can. You'll then have to launch the escape pods, even though that you're not sure you're actually high enough for the escape pods to actually be able to escape the gravitational pull of the gas giant. And of course, if if you have basically no, if you have you have no damage points at the end of by the end of the adventure, then obviously all hands will be. But you've got one already, so you're getting there. You already with one damage control point, you will be able to at the crucial time gain some altitude with the ship. But at the moment, you're still looking at launching escape pods at a very dangerous level. But that's by the by. That's a bit of metagaming, but it tells you what you're aiming for. So the lockdown's lifted. Okay, so lockdown has been lifted. No one got vented. Congratulations. You are now able to move around ship using the transit system. So that just leaves that just leaves the turning back on the AI. I'll let
Now,
you.
please, nobody take any undue risks, and we should perhaps see what's going on with Atty. If that drone attacked the crew members, and the drones are controlled by Atty, we need to be very careful about bringing her back online.
Atty doesn't control Atty doesn't control the drones, and you won't be able to save the ship without Atty.
Atty doesn't control the drones.
The drones are autonomous.
Well, that seems like a bit of an oversight, doesn't it?
But there is no way you're going to get the ship out without. Basically, there's no way to get the ship. You won't be able to save the ship without Atty. Is the point?
Without Atty. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's. Right. I'll make that quite clear because, of course, you need Atty. I don't want you failing the adventure just because you understand we were concerned that.
The Atty was what was controlling the drones and making them attack people.
Operations turn on Atty.
Indeed, I'm just creating some NPCs for you. Give me a few secs. Brilliant. I'm glad we're play testing this because it's already highlighting things that you don't necessarily notice. And you're converting it. You usually rely on them to actually give you the stats. It would have been nice for just generic crewman stat to be included in the adventure.
Speaking of the generic crewman, I'm going to do now that we have things open, I'm going to do a once around the ship and check for all the humans and do whatever first aid I can.
Well, I'll be honest there. That will probably take quite some time given the size of the ship and the 500 odd crewmen. But obviously, I'm not saying you can't do that, of course.
I get the impression if we take a Star Trek analogy and you're the chief medical officer, you still have other doctors and nurses who you can say, I sent my doctors and nurses to do that, and the camera sticks on me doing the important thing that's nothing like what a doctor would be doing, but I'm in it anyway because I'm the star.
Exactly. Completely, right. Exactly.
That's my crew. That makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, you'll send your medical teams out aboard you will send the medical teams out aboard the ship, around the ship to do that sort of stuff. Obviously, they'll report to you. I've just added. Okay, so on your character sheet on the main tab, Doc, I've just added Ensign Hideki Tamori, who is your basically your medical nurse that's obviously going to stick with you. And I've just statted them up. They've got D6 and everything except healing, which I've got a D8. I think Lisa. I think Lisa Fincher didn't make it, unfortunately. Kendra doesn't get one. So the only other one is Sula gets hands, doesn't she? From the start, I believe.
Yes, I had a fella there at the beginning.
Yeah, which of course does mean
I still feel like I've been hard done by because I aced my pre-thing.
I think you can have a subordinate wellness officer. Yes, you'll just have to come up with an. I'll put it on your character sheet and you can name it.
Right. And I would also like to point out it is just as well that nobody went outside because that would have been in violation of Space Corps Directive number 147. Crew members are expressly forbidden from leaving their vessel except on production of a permit. Permits can only be issued by the Chief Navigation Officer, who is expressly forbidden from issuing them except on production of a permit, and the Chief Navigation Officer was in operations and is now dead.
it should be pointed out that you are, as far as you are able to tell at this time, you are the only 4 remaining staff officers
Command
left.
crew, yeah.
Command crew left alive, and I can't. Oh no, I know why I can't find flight correction, because it was the first one on the adventure. Ensign Danny Cole. No, it wasn't. It was Ensign Han. Ensign Han. Okay, sorry. Okay, so if I go into NPCs, and go into unassigned, and I copy Ensign, and I'll just rename that to Ensign Han, like so, and I will basically take healing, rename healing to piloting, and there's Ensign Han. Then I can just go to there, then I can go to there, and then I can just drag Ensign Han onto your ally sheet. What I really ought to do is go letters, get the letter tokens up, and Ensign Han should really have. Otherwise, they'll both be E. Everyone's going to be E's, aren't they? Ensign Han. I do hate the way you actually have to open the token thing now. Do you know what I mean? To Adam.
Did you mean to give Ensign Han to Sula?
Yes, I did mean to give Ensign Han to Sula. Thank you. Sorry. There we go. Ensign Han to Sula. As I say, you can open them up and then you can roll the dice for them. Then I just need to copy Ensign again. Actually, they've just got Ensign Hideki is going to be an E because we've got too many H's. What's your ensign called, Kendra?
Kachansky.
Kachansky. Okay.
And surely Ensign Tamori, Hideki Tamori would be a T.
Fine. I'm not changing. There we go. That goes to there. And it's a bit fair, Aloysius doesn't get a junior engineer. So let's say actually that Ensign Lisa was okay. And you just minimize that for a second. Yeah, take healing again, and I'll change healing to repair. I always spell repair. I don't have to spell repair, but I just type it wrong every time without fail. Very instant goes. Okay, there you go. Everyone's got an ensign. Send out to do alpha missions if you want, or keep them with you to help. Okay, so the maze-like corridors of the AI core are completely empty of crew. And you can all hang on. You can obviously all move yourselves to operations if you wish to take a transit system. The maze-like corridors of the AI core are completely empty of crew and flickering on backup power. The only element of danger here is time users. It's crucial to get Atty back online to offer a damage report. Okay. This will also be only one person can actually do the repairs, but other people can assist. If you're now in the same area, then obviously you don't have any penalties on supporting. So I suspect this is going to be a dramatic task for Aloysius. Is anyone else? I'm not going to worry about the cards. I do have to. I do have to worry about the cards. It's just it goes really weird, didn't it, with the same cards every time? I do have to worry about the cards to get the boxes.
You just have to move on to a new round each time. Put everybody else on hold.
That's a good idea. Let's put everyone else on hold. I like that idea. Works rather well. Why don't I think of that? Too busy trying to fund the adventure. Okay, so actually the cards. Sorry, this is what time the card does matter. So you get a club, obviously. does matter for this one. Didn't have any consequences on the other one. So anyway, okie dokie. So let's have this. If anyone wants to support Aloysius in bringing up the Atty, so it's electronics or repairs apparently, and you'll need 4 tokens in 3 rounds.
Do be careful, Aloysius. If the systems are damaged, I don't want you getting electrocuted or hurt in any way. So be very careful with what you're doing.
Word. That's a +2.
Okay, can I use my science roll to support him?
Of course you can. Oh, look at that.
I will use electronics because I can't think of piloting.
Go for it. That's fine. Don't worry. It would be a stretch. Okay, that's a +4 bonus to Aloysius, which is the maximum he can have. His first roll, he gets 17.
Nice.
All 4 tokens.
All 4 tokens in 1 round. So we don't even need to carry on. Isn't that marvelous?
Aloysius just hits it with a wrench, doesn't he?
Bonk. Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. He comes in and says, pulls out this little piece of paper that got jammed in there. And says, "All right, we're good."
Oh, okay. So it won't happen because you've done it. Failure on a complication still awakes Atty, but her speech is slurred and her responses to basically her responses are slow and unreliable. By the end of the adventure, she's humming a song about Daisy to herself. Okay. If you manage to Benny's for all, says Bewildered Badger. Thank you. More Benny's for me later. More. Okay. If the crew manage to both open the gates and turn on the lights simultaneously, you gain an extra point for the time they save. But you didn't manage that because you had to do one at a time. So I do believe it doesn't say you get one for that, but I'm going to give you one anyway because it doesn't say you don't. It does say just like the other one. So, thank you so much for restoring my functions. I have logged 62 requests for emergency aid. I'm routing designs and crew to assist where possible. We have descended to an unsafe depth within the atmosphere. I calculate if engine control isn't restored within the hour, we will reach crush depth. Running diagnostics. 2 critical systems must be repaired to reverse our course in time. System 1 is the engine tubes on flight deck. Foreign matter is interrupting the intakes and hampering thrust. Warning, the flight deck is now categorized as extremely hazardous due to malfunctioning worker drones. Proceed with caution. System 2 is the main reactor. Serious damage was sustained during the collision and the power regulators are required from the cargo deck for repairs. Warning, the cargo deck is now characterized as extremely hazardous due to the presence of an unknown life form. Proceed with caution. Once both systems are restored, the main thruster must be reignited in engineering, and the officer must operate the controls on the bridge to initiate our course correction. We now have an estimated 59 minutes to complete repairs. I have analysed the worker drone malfunctions. You may not wish to see this, but I think you need to.
So, do we have to do anything in the cargo deck? If not, maybe we should shut that down. So whatever the hazardous
somebody's got to go to the cargo deck.
Yeah, we've got to get stuff out of the cargo.
Oh, okay.
We've got to get something out of the cargo deck. We've got to clear tubes on the flight deck. We've got to repair the engine in engineering with what comes from the cargo deck, and somebody has got to go onto the bridge.
We may not want to see it, Atty, like you said, but perhaps you can show us and be a little more delicate in the way you're talking about it.
With that, Atty projects security footage of a ghastly shape stalking down the darkened corridors of the Tangaroa. The timestamp indicates this was taken minutes after the collision while the officers were all knocked out. The thing has glistening skin similar to the polyps discovered in the upper atmosphere, but this thing has long limbs, claws, and teeth. The camera feed shows one of the worker drones approaching the creature. The robot drones on about how the intruder doesn't have authorization to access the area. The creature moves like lightning, raking its claws over the robot and engulfing it with its long limbs. The damage seems negligible at first, but then the drone lurches drunkenly and stops speaking. The creature slowly unfolds its grip and slinks away as the robot stumbles off in the opposite direction. The footage timestamp jumps several minutes ahead when a stricken robot chances upon an ensign trapped under debris. He calls out for the machine for assistance, and it suddenly snaps to attention and then engages its cutting torch and moves menacingly towards the screaming man. Atty cuts the feed just before the berserk machine brings the torch down onto the helpless ensign. Such a reaction is highly irregular. I have a total of 18 worker drones no longer reporting in, most of which were in the flight deck area where that footage was taken. Some may have been damaged during the collision, but I suspect most have encountered the unknown creature, challenged it, and been driven into this unusual, aggressive state by its pilot.
Is there any way we can power down all of the drones, Atty?
No, I don't believe you can. Don't forget, you have, however, stun batons will do increased damage to robots.
We have 2.
You do. You have 2 that you found on you. You had 2. Yes, I do believe.
And Aloysius has a stun gun.
You might want to read this.
What is this?
I did it not share because I already shared it? You need to look at the equipment. Second paragraph of equipment.
See, the reason I didn't get that was I already had that open.
Oh, fair enough. Second paragraph is probably the one you want there.
Weapons locker inside operations center contains numerous stun batons and stun guns. Okay.
A sickening lurch and groan of metal reminds you that the Tangaroa situation is precarious and deteriorating fast. We now have 55 minutes until ship destruction, says Atty.
Split into 2 teams to do it all in one group.
I can't allow all of you to risk yourselves, but we perhaps should have 2 of us go to the flight deck and 2 to processing. I would suggest that Aloysius, you go to processing, as what is there is needed for engineering, and you can take it straight there. And as Sula, flight deck is your domain. You should go to the flight deck.
Okay.
Doctor, I can't let you risk
I would
yourself
like
again.
to have a stun baton because that's where the last of the. Addie, do you have a camera on the flight deck now? Are there still hostile drones on the flight deck?
But that's what her scanner reported, didn't she? What did she say?
Yes, there's like a dozen of them on the flight deck.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, I need to get to the flight deck, but I won't survive without some sort of way to attack these things. Obviously.
Well, let's all of us take a stun baton and a stun gun, and perhaps if we're splitting into 2 teams, we should split up as girls and boys.
Okay. But these are not the stun guns and the stun batons in the cargo area? Is that not
No,
what
they're here in operations.
Oh, they're here in operations. Okay, then fine. Yes, I'll grab the stun baton.
Kendra goes and opens the cabinet and says, "See, there they are.
Okay, fine.
Please, you take your choice first."
Hang on. Let's say there are. Okay, you've already got 1, so there are now 7 stun batons, and there are 8 stun guns. Stun guns are ranged, stun batons are melee. So basically, it really comes down to what it comes down to is if your fighting's better than your shooting, you probably want a stun baton. But if you've got shooting, you might as well take a stun gun anyway. And if your shooting's better than your fighting, then you probably want a stun gun. But if you end up in hand-to-hand combat, you'll still want a stun baton anyway, because shooting into melee is always tricky.
Okay. Is Ensign Hand coming with us?
Your ensigns will go wherever you want to direct them.
Okay. In which case, if there's spares, I would like him to have a stun baton. He does not have shooting, but he does have fighting.
Righty-ho, that's a stun baton for Ensign Ham. That's okay, I can certainly do that. He now has a stun baton.
Can I do the same for Damari, please?
Certainly, stun baton. Actually, sorry, yeah, that's a good point. They probably should have shooting D6. Shouldn't they? It says they've got D6 in their skills. So I need to do the same for shooting of D6 as well.
He's gonna have a gun. There's enough for everybody to go around. Oops, got two.
Yeah, I don't, somehow. I don't know. It's okay.
Here we go.
Okay, Ensign Kachansky's got a stun gun. Yeah. And go. Versus machine. Stun gun. When using machines, they deal lethal electric damage, and stun guns can deal 2d6. Yeah. Stun gun.
I've given one to Damari.
Stun guns deal 2d6 plus 2 electric damage. Okay. Okay. So basically, what you want to do, and this is something you end up doing quite a bit as a, you'll end up doing quite a bit as you're working your way through. I've already just done it there. Where's the spot? What you want to do on Ensign Mori on the combat tab, where you've got this. Oh, he hasn't got shooting yet. Let me give him shooting.
I'm going to stop marking character.
That's okay. So if you go to the combat tab of Ensign Homori, what you want to do is right click over stun gun, and at about 4 or 5 o'clock there's an arrow, and when you hover over it, it says create sub attack. If you click on that, and click create a sub attack, then you can create a sub attack and just put the damage in there. I'll do it this time just because it's easier. So you know what I mean. So you can't see what I'm doing, but the idea is this is how you can sort of, when you've got things that do different things, you could, different effects. That's how you do it. So that's done for everyone. Okay. I can add the NPCs. I will add the NPCs to the map. So if you want to split them up away from yourselves for any particular reason.
Hansky's coming with me to the flight deck.
Still got 2 E's for some reason. What E's? Ensign Hand's token. Ensign Hand's token. I remember putting an H on Ensign Hand, so I don't know what happened. Ensign. Oh, come on, there. There we go. Why have I got a downward arrow for a token? The hell's that?
I don't know.
Okay. I seem to have created a pointer that when you click on it opens up the NPC. That's interesting. Oh, that must be something. I don't know. Can anyone else see the arrow? Is it something only I can see?
Only you can see an arrow.
Wow, that's something I didn't know you could do. So basically, I just dragged the button that you click, on the combat track. I'm just telling you for people who's GMing. it would appear you can now set up monsters on the map that the players can't see as a shortcut that when you click on it will open up the stats for that NPC. That's cool. I like that.
Oh, cool. That's actually very handy.
It is. And there's Ensign Lisa. There we go. Okay. So who's going where? Who's going to the flight deck?
Me and Han, and I assume Kendra and
And Kachansky.
Chance. Okay.
Okay.
Doctor, Chief, in case that xenomorph creature is down in processing, please do
Remember, Space Corps' prime overriding duty is to contact other life forms, exchange information,
and whenever possible, bring them home.
The flight deck is okay. So we'll go to the flight deck first. The flight deck is a large pair of enclosed hangars with launch bays for large flying drones, used to gather liquid helium and perform external hull repairs, too dangerous for suited humans. Towards the front of the bay are the intake tubes that provide trace oxygen and hydrogen for use in life support of the ship's engines. Currently, those intakes are encrusted or damaged in some way. You don't know what's going on. So your objective is to clean the intakes.
Clean the intake.
Indeed, they appear to be blocked.
Sorry, Dr. Spook, cargo deck. The intakes are blocked, but are there any drones on the flight deck? Because if they're used to gather stuff, can Sula use a drone to clear the blocked intake?
Okay. You could try sending a drone in. According to the scan, there appear to be two sets of drones moving around the flight deck as if on patrol, 5 apiece.
So, Sula,
Sorry.
Sorry.
In the third cabinet from the left, in the northern wall of the medical bay, on the second shelf, hidden behind an unopened gauze packages and a pile of unopened medtape packages, the perceptive inspector can find a party's worth of pennies, according to Guacamole.
Oh, fantastic!
Thank you.
I don't know if I'm just going to talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to talk to Guacamole quickly.
If Sula can get a flight drone to clear out the intakes, can make sure that the patrol.
Oh well, just while I've got you, Guacamole, I don't know if you've seen the stuff about 2 robots. So there's already pre-built robot called Zarkov's over something or other. If you want to take a look at that, or you could still create your own, of course. Just to
Trying to fight all of them and first to get rid of them and then try to clear it. That would certainly be wasting a lot of time. Okay, so would that be electronic or piloting?
Is that sending a drone in?
Pardon?
What was the plan? Sorry, I did mute you.
The plan is
and what's his name? Kachansky and Han are going to watch my back to make sure we don't get attacked by drones.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to try to pilot a drone in to clean out the
tube.
That which needs to be the tube which needs to be cleaned out.
Righty ho.
Now I'm just wondering, will that be? I assume that will be a piloting role.
Indeed. Well, actually,
Or
well,
should
in
it be an
fact, well,
electronic roll?
no, it's okay. It's going to be a dramatic task,
Oh, okay.
which is okay. So I'll treat this path as 3-round dramatic task that requires 4 tokens per participant. The first round requires stealth rolls, but you're not sneaking, so that'll be piloting. The second round and third requires you to piloting -2. Well, the others can use the main, but you're not doing that. Obviously, I'm allowed to. You're supposed. You came up with different ideas, so it's going to be a dramatic task. So the first is going to be a multi-person dramatic task, but multi-person dramatic task, and both of you will need to get 4 tokens by the end of it. Obviously, it sounds like one of you is obviously going to be more keeping an eye out and protecting Sula from any drones that find you, or Sula's piloting the drone. That's not a problem. What, however, we are going to do is jump to cargo. Well, you guys are obviously making. It's like we've lost Aloysius again. He's still in operations, but anyway. So, Doc, you and your ensign head down to the cargo deck to repair the reactor. Yeah, you
To
can
get
get parts to repair the reactor. Yes, indeed. Okay, the bay is quite spacious. It's stacked. It's stacked with rows of cargo containers. It's not particularly well lit, even when the ship's running at full power. Normally, worker drones would carry the heavy parts needed over to engineering, but it's probably for the best that the robots aren't in the vicinity, since the bay has become the new hunting ground, according to Adi, for some unidentified entity. So, how do you want to deal with the cargo getting the parts you?
I'm going to roll my notice to see if I can find the power transformers, and depending how big they are, I'm either going to carry them or I'm going to load them on a stretcher or a gurney type of something that rolls.
Yeah, it's more how you're going to deal with the fact that there's some unidentified life form inside the cargo deck.
I'm going to hunt that life form.
Be very, very quiet. We're hunting xenomorph.
Indeed. Doc, you have a good is a very good chance that the creature inside the cargo deck is the same kind of creature that you performed an autopsy on.
Yeah. Can I think of a good way that I could sort of
Well, funny enough, if it will take some time, but if you headed back to medical, you could complete the you can complete some analysis with some science checks, and basically possibly get some insight into how to deal with the creature in the cargo deck. That would take some time. It's up to you.
Yeah, we have less than an hour. We're down to like 50 minutes type of thing. I don't have time to sit down and do a serious science project. We're quick with stunners. All we can do is probably hopefully we can stun the creature without killing it, and we can maybe find a way to subdue it later.
Up to you. Forewarned could be forearmed. Yes, it is an expensive time, but it's up to you which way you want to go. I'm just letting you know. That's if the fault does occur to you. So you're going to head into the cargo deck. Okie dokie.
Aloysius isn't going with you?
I'm hoping.
I think he's held up in operations. I heard him talking far away from his mic earlier. I think he may.
I guess he's still working with the computer.
Yeah.
So if it's just me and my nurse, yeah, we're going to see if we could sneak in here and find those transformers without bothering the alien. If we
Okie
can sneak by
dokie.
them, then we will do so. If we can't, we've got stun guns and we'll shoot the dang thing. Yeah, see if that'll drive them off.
Okie doke. No problem at all. I'm just checking something. I don't know if it will work. We'll find out. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay, you head into. It's very dark in there. Obviously, I'm assuming you obviously you've got your devices so you can summon up light, but obviously there are lots of not dark corners. That should be fine. So you head into the cargo bay with your nurse with you, and it's very, very quiet, and you start heading down to the first of the items you need. Make a notice check, please. Oh, yeah, sorry. I just realised I didn't say who. I do like the green the green numbers on the black dice. Very cool. Very in keeping with the theme. Okay, yes, no problem at all. You spot the you spot the parts you need, and you basically head towards it and basically start assessing how you're going to lift it up and out of there. Obviously, the picture I'm about to show you, it's not the dock in the picture. I don't think the dock's this large, but it definitely gives you an idea of the situation. We'll leave the dock in as we head back to the flight.
Oh my, that looks nasty.
Back
Yeah,
to the.
that's sort of a bad form of attack.
Yeah, just to give Aloysius time to catch up and help the dock. Anyway, we're going to head back to the flight deck. So
Aloysius is here. I just was AFK, and apparently you guys couldn't hear me. I heard everything that was going on, but apparently
that's absolutely.
It wasn't picking up my mic.
No, that's absolutely fine. That's what I figured. It's just you're still in out operation, so you're obviously sorting out an operation, so you'll catch the dock up in cargo, I'm sure. Okie dokie. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put Dr. Spooked and Aloysius on hold, and then we're going to turn you into having a dramatic task and set things off. Some combatants are on hold. Yes, I am very sure. Okay. Oh dear. Kendra, have you both got clubs?
Well, enjoy your Benny.
If you fail a roll on a club, then you fail the whole dramatic task. You can spend a Benny to get a new card, or you can just spend lots of Bennies to not fail. It's your choice. And you're doing a piloting roll, so it's up to you. Sulu, which way you want to go?
Both of them got clubs.
They both got clubs, yes. It was very unfortunate.
But I spent a Benny to change.
Oh, damn it.
Okay, so do I have to spend a Benny to change that club? Because the club.
No, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to give Kendra a Benny back. I'm going to take a Benny off. I'm going to click resolve. Because I don't know what happened there. I'm going to something went. I must have pressed the wrong button. It basically, yeah. So we'll start again now. I mucked up the dramatic task. Try again. There we go. Then we go new round, and then when I press down. Okay, so Kendra, you can spend the Benny again to get a new card. Sulu, you don't need to. You've got another club.
Enjoy your.
This is ridiculous. You just have to make sure you don't fail your roll, aren't you?
No, I'm going to give you Bennies. I'll throw Bennies at you.
I won't be able to use them all anyway at this rate. Okay, Sula. You get so first round of the dramatic task. Basically, obviously, it's going to be piloting to get it in there, but then it's going to, for the first round, it's going to be piloting to fly the drone in and avoiding the other drones. So you can certainly do that. Make your piloting roll. You need to get 4 tokens over 3 rounds. But one time you need to get at least 1 raise. And when you're piloting, this is a good time to try and rack up.
I'm sorry, what do you, a good time to try what?
Just make a good piloting roll and get more.
Oh.
Basically, each successive raise gets you 1 token. You need 4 tokens
Okay.
in total over 3 rounds.
Okay.
So that gets you 1 token. Oh, I don't know why. Oh, do not know why you're encumbered, but that's by the by. I'll ignore the
I don't
encumbered
know.
one.
Probably because we've picked up stun buttons and stun guns.
Probably. Which is strength.
Her strength is
D4.
not
Oh,
very
yeah.
good.
Your strength
Yeah,
is not very
she's
good.
not that much strength.
That's okay. I'm not going to worry about encumbrance in this one. It's not that. Turn it off.
Okay. So
It's not. It's type of game. Or of it.
so tell us what that.
Okay, that's okay. Well, basically, you've got a choice, you see. A 6 gets you 1 of the 4 tokens you need. But you can spend a penny and try again if you want. But, of course, if you critically fail, that actually counts as a negative
Go
token.
back to the other one. Right.
Yeah. So it's up to you. At the end of the day...
I'll leave it. I'll leave it for now.
Okay, that's fine.
And we'll try again next time, because I'll probably need them with the more with the
Okay, Kendra.
the electronic.
Actually, I'll tell you what. If you want to, I'm thinking about it. Actually, you've got your ensign. Make a piloting roll from Ensign Han. He can support you. I forgot to mention that. So Ensign Han can make a piloting roll, which will support your roll. If he gets you got a 6, didn't you? He'll need to get an 8 on his piloting roll to actually give you a bonus, but it's worth it. Give it a shot. It's okay. We're not going to worry about crit fails on that one. Okay, Kendra, what are you and Ensign Kachansky up to?
So Kendra won't let Kachansky risk herself. So Kendra's going to set Kachansky up next to next to an override for one of the doors.
Mhm.
And Kendra is going to try and persuade one of these groups of 5 drones to follow her into an area that can be sealed off, then duck out and have Kachansky close the door on them. So I would like Kachansky to assist Kendra's persuasion with electronics, because she's going to close the door at the appropriate time to lock some of the drones away so that they can't get to Sula.
I will warn you that they do have batter cutters, so they would be able to cut out. All you can do is delay them. But from a narrative point of view, it doesn't make any difference.
From a narrative point of view, that's all I need to do. If I can delay them long enough that we can clear the tubes and we can get out of here, that's fine.
Agreed. I don't disagree with that, so go for it.
Okay, so we will support with electronics, which doesn't help. And then we will wave our hands and go,
Yoo-hoo! This way!
try and get the drones away from Sula.
And get 1
we will
success.
use a free reroll.
And get 1 success.
We'll stay with the 1 success for now.
I'm going to remember your 1 success and add it onto the next round, because for some reason it didn't pick up that I'd turned on dramatic tasks for you this time around, which is really
Okay.
Actually, I can cheat. I can give you an extra card. Ignore the fact it's a club. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just put a 6 in
it,
and then put a 6, and then drag it in. Okay, so that's good. So now we go next actor. Then we do that, and then we do next actor. You get the cards. So Kendra has the 6 of hearts, and Sula has the 6 of diamonds. So Kendra goes first.
Right. So I've clearly dragged some of these.
You've obviously distracted some of the drones. Yes, they're stuck in one corner.
Yeah, got some of the drones distracted. So we're now going to have to go and chase down the next lot. But if the drones are starting to sort of get matter cutters ready, Kendra is going to try and use her command training, because the drone should still follow commands from officers, and hopefully I can slow them down a little bit by being really intimidating and telling them to stand down.
Okie dokie.
And that's going to be supported by Kachansky, who is going to use notice to point out that this isn't working and maybe we should run.
Okie dokie. That's +1 bonus.
That will give me a +1 to my intimidation roll.
Indeed.
I don't get a free reroll in intimidation, so I'm going to have to stick with the 7 because I'm not going to throw any more bennies your way.
That's still an 8, isn't it? Oh no, that included the +1, did it?
No, that +1. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2. You need to get a success and a raise.
I need to get a raise on the next one, yes.
Indeed. Which obviously brings us to. Why did it deal cards? Like, this is definitely acting weird today.
I don't know.
I don't know what. I don't know what's going on there. That's okay, Kendra. We'll do another. We'll do it. I don't know what's going on with this today. I don't know why pressing it. I obviously got to manually do it. If I press down, it seems to just move the whole combat tracker on. So, Kendra, your has already been. So
No,
it's
I've
Sula.
already
Sorry,
done.
it's I put the 7 on you. That's what's happened. Obviously, got it the wrong way around. That's my mistake. But that's fine. I can put the 7 there for you. And if I deal you another card, it might trick it into giving me. Yes, it did. That's fine. So I can then. I'll just take one off. So on Sula, you you're still piloting the drone. Obviously, Ensign Hand can assist you. So if you roll for Ensign Hand's piloting first. Oh dear. Oh good. I've just rolled it to see if it's that bad. Okay, let's have your piloting roll. This is not going well. I'm not sure what happened. I think obviously, like everything else, if you succeed, if you fail, I think it's still going to be a success. But actually, I think you'll get caught. You'll be able to succeed in the task, but you will get caught and have to fight your way out. I think is the logic. I think. Oh, that's a 9. That got you the raise you need, and that brings us down to Kendra for your third action. Your third action, and then I'll just deal the cards at Sula.
Yeah.
I'll
So
make it
my
work.
third action. So
I'm going to say, obviously, from a narrative perspective, they've cut their way through the doors and are now actively hunting for the two of you.
Yes.
So maybe it's time for stealth or notice to avoid stuff or anything else, of course, because it's your thematic task. I'm not calling out what you need.
No, well, Kendra is loyal and selfless. So Kendra is going to try and persuade Sula to get out of here while she leads the drones away and gives Kendra a chance to make her way away. And what is Kachansky going to do? Kachansky is going to use athletics to drag Sula away, saying, yes, look, if she wants to sacrifice herself, we can get out of here, that's fine. Which gives a +1 to
Probably
Kendra's roll.
If you drag Sula out, you're not going to succeed in the task.
Sula's already succeeded.
No, she hasn't. Because don't forget that 7's yours. I'm going to change your fault. I'm going to change your 14 into you're persuading the drones to chase you away from Sula, which gets you 5 tokens.
That wasn't me that run.
That was
14.
me. I'm trying to get Lisa's stats up to D6 instead of 4, but it's not. It's fighting.
It won't let you because you're not a GM. You're a player.
Well, I cloned. They are all. Oh, sorry. You mean their attribute stats? You'll probably never need to roll those. That's okay.
I'll take my free reroll on that.
Put the
So
stun
there's the
baton
raise I
using
needed.
strength plus.
Understood. I will update the other NPCs accordingly. Okay, so what did you get? Sorry, you got me thoroughly confused right now.
I've got 2 successes. I got a 9.
You got a 9. So that's okay. With you getting 4 successes, that means you get a damage token for the team, and then Sula, it didn't add a card in. Why didn't it card in? Adding cards in. I'll just do another round. That's what I'll do. More cards. It's very broken.
Oh, Joker! No bennies are granted.
Oh, because of hard choices. That's harsh. Okay, Sula, your last roll. Okay, unfortunately, you've got the drone there. Now, what you need to do, and this is where you may want to support Han if he's got a better roll than you. You need to make the drone needs to make a repair roll to clear tubes. Apparently, it appears to be filled with some sort of biological material.
He'll have a repair at all.
He should do. He should have a D6 in it. Hang on, give me a sec. Where is Han? There. While I remember, let me do his stats correctly, as someone pointed out. I meant to have D6 in everything and then a D8 in what the best at. Okay, Han's got a D6 in repair. You've got no repair, so you can support Han.
D4 in repair.
Oh, you got D4 in repair. So
there's no reason you can't use your piloting to support his repair because he's
telling
you what to do with the drone's hands to move the
Agreed.
stuff, but you're doing the actual piloting of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right.
Perfectly agree with that.
I support him, but I'm rolling the piloting to support his.
Yes, because you've got to fly. You've got to fly the drone as he's directing. He's using repair to work out how to fix the issue, but you're still flying the drone. I like that. Make your piloting roll. Oh dear.
I think we'll Benny that.
Oh, for crying out loud! Don't forget you've got convictions as well.
Yes, I do. Can I use I will spend my conviction.
If you spend, I'm just saying, if you spend it, it's gone. So don't forget. Once you spend it, it's gone. But that would give you an extra D6 to add to your dice rolls. I'm just reminding you, you've got them. Don't forget to use them. But whether you want to save it for later, it's up to you.
Yeah, I think I'd rather save it till later. And at this point, I will utilize another Benny. Because if I don't get it right, then we're really in trouble. Oh my God! It's not meant to be, people. I'm sorry.
Okay, Hard gets to make a support roll. Hard gets to make his repair roll at -2. As I say, failures never actually stop you progressing. It just takes more time, and unfortunately, unless he rolls really well here, you won't get a damage control token out of this one. Make Hans repair. Oh, he's going to pull it off. He's going to pull it off. He's going to pull it off, isn't he? Look at that.
Oh, close. Han, my man.
That is successful. Okay, you.
I was so thinking I was going to need to pull team leader out here so that we could spend bennies on him.
You know what? Ramming the drone into the blockage to break it loose works. So.
Sometimes you just got to make a hole a little bigger.
Indeed. Right, now we can cut. Now we can cut back to. Now we cut back to cargo deck. Oh, where were we? That was breaming. So that was breaming. So after the third round, your final objectives, escape velocity. Yeah, you move on to your final objectives and escape velocity. So now we're going back to the cargo deck for the giant spark. So obviously, when we left, the neurophage had appeared, and you guys wish to engage in combat. So I am going to clear all cards. I'm going to put Sula on hold. I'm going to put Kendra on hold. And then it's the next round. This will be a theatre of the mind combat. With Dr. Spock on the Queen of Spades, Aloysius on the Queen of Clubs, and the alien entity on the Jack of Clubs. So you'll have to. I can do the targeting for you. So this basically coming out of the darkness towards you is that creature that's very black, long limbs, and got very sharp teeth. What do you do, Doctor? And what does Ensign Maury
Both
do?
of us are equipped with stun guns, so we're going to use them.
Okay, let me just adjust Maury's stats. Okay, so
medium range.
No. Hang on. Targeting and that. Targeting that. No, just shoot. It's a close range. It's right on top of you, but not melee range. So you both fire your stun guns. So you can roll for yourself first, and then we'll do Tamori afterwards.
Yeah, and I'm dragging A to B. It's not firing. My gun is not. I'm not doing the shoot.
So what you need to do is on your combat tab, you'll use. Hang on, your stun gun needs up. Your stun gun. Oh no, this is against the biological entity, so that's okay. It'll just be stunned, wouldn't it?
I just wondering what do I grab to drag it to the chat thingy so it fires.
Oh, just double click on the D4 to the left of stun gun.
Oh, it seems that my stun gun is unloaded. Why is my stun gun unloaded?
I've just loaded it.
And I shoot it with a 5.
Indeed. I thought I had you targeting it. I don't know why it didn't. I don't know why it didn't. There's something up. It showed. Oh, I know why, because it does show. Yeah, you hit it with a stun gun, so you rolled a check. So I need to roll a vigor check. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I need to check that. That doesn't make.
Can I drop one of my bennies and have her shoot again?
You can't spend bennies on an NPC unless
I'm there.
Unless you're there, yeah.
Because I've got team leader, which means anyone within my command range has common bond and can use their bennies or anybody.
Okay, so
the answer is no. There you go. I'm good.
Yeah.
Work this one out. The way that it's been written doesn't make sense. But anyway, the
first question is, does the stun gun have any effect on the monster?
Well, this is the thing about that. Anyway, unfortunately, it makes its figure check, so it's not stunned. So that answers that one, but it doesn't really answer the question I'm trying to work out. That's by the by. So that was
clearly
that.
You need an ensign to distract it first, so it's -2 on its vigor check to get stunned.
Oh, bottoms. I know why it's going wrong.
What did you do?
I dragged the new round token to my shortcut, not the next actor token to my shortcut.
Well done.
Well, the icons look different. I got confused. Aloysius, you're up, sir. You wanted to shoot. You wanted to take this thing on. Take this thing on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ensign Lisa is going to test the critter. Use her thumb baton, and she's going to kind of fiddle with the electronics a little bit and make it spark and flash.
Okay.
Failing.
Let's get the targeting.
Okay, that's what it was supposed to.
That's because I hadn't actually done the targeting for you because I was.
Well, no, she rolled a 2 on her test. Failed.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Let's. Kaczynski needs 6s. Okay. What are you doing, Mr. Aloysius? That's a ridiculous amount of diet. Why does it say machine pistol?
Because I have a machine pistol.
That's a lethal weapon. You don't have it.
Oh, I didn't come on with it. Doesn't mean I didn't make it. Weapons, the rules are for everybody else, not me.
Ah, you MacGyvered it. You are supposed to tell me that first, you know. Okay. Okay. You can improvise a device from common resources when the need arises. Given a sample items, you make a repair roll.
That sounds like that sounds like
You're breaking up.
that sounds like spending a penny to have any Dev 1 device, like you said we could at the beginning of the.
Yeah, but he's got the MacGyver edge, so he can make a repair roll to craft improvised weapons, explosives, or tools that last until used or the end of the encounter. This takes one entire turn and can't move or any other actions. Did you make your repair roll?
Oh, yeah. Before
sure
the
you
adventure
did.
started, I made the repair roll.
That's absolutely fine. Success creates a minor explosive, 2d4 explosive, a small blast, a one-shot projectile weapon like a zip gun, range 5, 10, damage 2d6. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. So you've hit with a raise, it's going to do 3d6 damage. Oh, hang on, a raise, sorry. 2d8 damage, plus, of course, it did a raise.
Okay, plus I have incendiary ammo, so once I'm done shooting it...
And no, you don't get incendiary... Well, you use incendiary ammo if you really want, but you don't get it.
I think what Kev's saying is you can either use the MacGyver edge to have a one-shot zip gun, or you'll have to spend the penny to get the Dev 1 item.
You don't. There are no weapons on board the ship, so you can't get weapons.
I can't have it. What he's telling me.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine.
But you certainly with a MacGyver edge, you certainly have a gun you can use for the rest of this encounter.
I will use.
Don't have a problem with that.
Torch.
No. You miss
no.
No. What you've done is perfectly within the rules. You have created a single-use weapon for this encounter. I'm not saying you can't do that. That's what the MacGyver edge is for. What I'm saying is you can't spend bennies to get guns, is what I'm saying. But So you have built. There's nothing wrong with what you've done. Don't get me wrong. I'm not actually. I just was confused. But the point,
projectile weapon of boom.
Yeah, you can perfectly build. You perfectly can build a nail gun that fires high velocity nails, causing 14 points of damage to the entity. I don't have a problem with that at all. I just was very confused. Yeah. I don't know why it didn't do the damage, but there we are.
Fine, I'll take my machine pistol off.
You can get an exoskeleton though, and then say, "Get away from him, you bitch."
I'm not saying you could do everything. It's just you need to tell me first, you know.
Well, but I don't care about the rules. Come on.
Your character doesn't care about the...
I'm going to tell the captain that, by the way, I made a machine pistol, Captain. The hell no.
Okay, you hit the neurophage in its left arm. It takes a wound. Right. Dr. Spook should be on hold. Okay, so then it's the neurophage's go. Okay.
Why is Dr. Spook on hold? He's in here with
Dr. Spook shouldn't be on hold.
Oh, sorry, Dr. Spook. Shouldn't be on hold. Ignore me. I got myself confused. That's what happens when people confuse the GM with their rule usage. Okie dokie. Well, I do believe that it's going to have to come running in, and yeah, I think it has to, really, doesn't it? I'm going to spend a penny on that. I've got lots of bennies. And with a single swipe, decapitates.
Oh no!
with a single swipe, decapitates Ensign Lisa. Well, incapacitates.
No.
Serves her right for wearing red.
Okay, unfortunately, it looks like the neurophage is going next again. Oh, we all know what that means, don't we? Ensign Tamori rushes forwards with a med pack in hand, trying to reach the downed ensign. Unfortunately, he never makes it.
You've lost your ablative ensigns.
Oh no!
Dr. Spooked!
I'm going to try to shoot the monster right in the eye.
Go for it. Actually, I can put it on there. I just realised there's no reason I can't actually put it in the map.
Probably make it visible on the combat tracker.
Well,
Yeah, because then you'll see them on the map.
It's funny you should mention that. I've just noticed a problem with this theme. I can't make him visible on the map. I can make all the NPCs visible on the map. I can't make individual ones visible on the map. I probably can by toggling on the icon and making it visible, can't I? But you know the little icon that's on. Yeah, it's obviously missing from the theme. Okay, you missed, Dr. Spook.
Okay.
1, 2, 3,
Sort of.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've only got 8 bennies if you want to give me another one. That's the subtle way of saying, do you want to spend a benny to re-roll your stun gun shot?
I suppose I really should.
No, I got this. I got this.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not going to do I'm considering the stun gun absolutely useless against this thing. I'm going to change weapon.
Okay. Aloysius. You can shoot it. By all means, shoot it. You have got your gun still. Oh
no! The cutting torch does 3d6 AP10. So I was trying to use my cutting torch on it.
That's absolutely fine. Does mean you're in trouble though. I
know.
Okay, effects is that okay? Well, I think obviously you've overextended yourself, leaving yourself vulnerable. It's a new round. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Oh, I think that's cruel not letting you have bennies. I'm going to give you a benny.
But hey, Dr. Spooked has got a +2 to all his rolls.
Indeed. Now, something I forgot to mention, I'm not sure how you are with the Savage Worlds rule system. If you already know this, I do apologise. But one of the things I do like about the Savage Worlds rule system is you do not have to be any good in combat, as in combat skills, to be effective in combat. In fact, passive characters can be quite effective in combat. They don't by not having to attack. You can, if you wish to, test. I can't remember what the correct term is these days. Is it still test?
It's a test.
It is test. You can test an opponent in combat. So what you do is, rather than engaging in physical combat or shooting it, you basically use one of your skills in any way you want to by narratively explaining what you're going to do, and that basically causes your target to make an opposed roll. If you succeed, that you get to choose whether they're distracted or vulnerable. Distracted means they have penalties in all their actions. Vulnerable means anyone attacking them gets a +2 bonus to hit them. If you get a raise, you get to roll on the creative combat table. And that's decided by the difference.
It's resisted by the attribute that skill's based on. So you can try and pick something you think it's going to be bad at as well.
So if you have correctly deduced the stun gun is next to useless to affect this thing. So if you wish to be enterprising with your science or your medical knowledge and healing and come up with something crafty you want to do, you by all means do that. Or, of course, you can still whack it if you want to.
I think I'd like to try this one.
Okay.
Reach over to the wall, grab the
Yeah.
nearest fire extinguisher, and hose the thing down with fire retardant and hope that it'll cool it down enough to freeze it.
That sounds reasonable. I'm going to say that sounds like I'm going to say that's a scientific solution, don't you think? I'll let you make a science roll. Are you happy with a 9? As I say,
I think that should successfully hose the monster down with a good good coating of fire retardant, shouldn't it?
it should have done. It's very annoying that it didn't actually. I don't know why it didn't, because it must have cleared targets somehow. So if I'm going to roll science, I'm just going to roll science again. I've got exactly the same result, which is lucky. Only because it lets me do the automation. So I'm going to roll it smarts. Okay, so you got a success with a raise. So I click the roll on creative combat table. So, wow, there you are. You got the double whammy.
Distracted and vulnerable. Ooh,
Yep.
sweet.
So basically you completely engulf it in flame retardant. It doesn't know how to. It doesn't know how to react to it. It's very confused. So it is distracted and vulnerable. Therefore,
this is the point where Aloysius wants. This is the point where Aloysius wants to spend a penny to get a better card than a queen to go before it. Otherwise, those go away at the end of its turn.
Yeah, but he's got a queen.
Yeah, you're not likely to get better, but
you shouldn't worry too much. You really shouldn't worry too much about hard choices. I'm not going to have many opportunities to spend bennies in this adventure. I really wanted to use it as a test to see if it all worked the way I wanted it to now. But don't worry about giving me bennies. And never worry about giving me bennies. I never get to use them all anyway.
yay!
Well,
Aloysius
too.
goes first.
Aloysius goes next. Go for it. Are you going to wildly attack with your cutting torch because you're already
I am
vulnerable?
absolutely going to wildly attack with my cutting torch.
You're already vulnerable. You've got nothing to
Work,
lose.
aren't you? Exactly.
That's what the critical fail was. You couldn't get it started, could you?
I'm not sure if you got it.
The,
I don't think you got it. I don't know where you
had
got it
bits of
targeted.
Alice in its switch.
Hey, who the F is Alice?
Alice.
Oh my word!
Come on, I can do it again. Oh, I did. Okay.
You've got. Don't forget, you got your conviction. If you really, using your conviction to take this down might
Hang on. The wild attack is not kicking in. Oh,
Yes,
no,
it
it's
is.
offsetting the improvised. Improvised.
You only missed that by 1 with its vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's
There
it.
you go.
There we go.
Hit with a raise. Roll that damage as the cutting torch cuts into the entity.
18 too. So
3 wounds. And down it goes. 3 blood.
Mm. Oh no!
Okay.
It's going to burn another hole in the ship.
Oh, I'm gonna have to run one of those one day. Okay. So you fought it. Okay. Obviously, fighting that means continues attacking to incapacitate the character once done the ground. That's fine. You killed it. That's fine. Successfully completed the task. So basically, successfully completing the task means you gain another damage control token. I haven't shared that with you, so I'll share it so you can see where you're up to. Righty ho. Okay, so ready or not, it's basically ready or not. It's your last chance to light the Tangaroa's engines and bring the stricken ship out of the gas giant's clutches, or at least high enough that the escape pods might have a chance to reach orbit. Okay, the bridge is in bad shape but intact, because I know someone whispered to ask about that one earlier. There are still dead and wounded from the impact strewn about, but they'll have to wait until the ship is out of danger. Piloting the craft to safety is the final dramatic task. One requiring 6 task tokens in 4 rounds. This is a single-person task and requires rolls against piloting at -4 for the ship's handling. What? There's another -2 if there's another -2 if no officers occupy engineering to monitor the power flow. The reason it's a dramatic task instead of just hitting the throttle is the presence of one last unexpected obstacle, a mountain of liquid helium directly in the ship's path. Tendrils of the staff seem to cling to the ship and slow its ascent. Seems a bit harsh.
This seems like a task for Sula.
But I have to be at the bridge to do that, correct?
You have to be at the bridge to do it.
But we can get to the bridge, yeah?
Yeah, you do. The ship, basically, unfortunately, the front, basically, yeah, you've still got plenty of time. You've still got half an hour, so you're okay on that.
Out of interest, does Sula have the ace edge?
Yes.
So it's only a piloting roll at -2. You ignore 2 points of penalties to piloting roll.
I also have rocket shock as well.
And that lets you multi-action at no penalty?
Yeah, ignore multi-action penalty for making boating, driving, or piloting rolls. And
So that
taking
means
another action in the same round.
So that means you could actually make 2 piloting rolls per round.
Dodging them asteroids.
Technically, yeah.
Never thought about it. I don't know if you can multi-action in a dramatic task because the time scale's meant to be sort of extended,
yes, you
isn't it?
can.
Can you?
Yes, you can. Mm-hmm.
I'll take your word for it, but where does it say that? I'll take your word for it. Don't get me wrong.
It's one of those things where it doesn't say that you can't.
Agreed.
And therefore, the standard rules for rounds apply in which you can multitask it. So you could, for example, try to disarm the bomb while shooting at the mooks that are shooting at you.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't. I was just curious. Okay. Righty-ho. So, as you say, so it's piloting at -4 of the ship's handling. There's another -2 if no officers occupy engineering to monitor the because obviously you've obviously got the equipment and moved them to the places, and this is obviously what you need it for. Okay, so failure on the complication plunges the Tangaroa into the mountain. Okay, into the mountain of helium-3. Okay, you don't want to fail.
Well.
So, okay, so I noticed.
Can support me?
Pan most certainly can support you. Let me get rid of the vulnerable and wild attack there. Okay. Can I have notice checks from everybody in the bridge?
No.
That's good. And also, can everybody in engineering give me some notice checks? Okie dokie. Dr. Spook doesn't notice anything, but Aloysius most certainly does.
No, Dr. Spook notices. It's Ensign Hideki who's doesn't notice.
Yeah, my bad. I re-rolled her by accident.
That's absolutely fine. I can just delete them so you don't do it again.
That's
okay.
why Ensign Hideki didn't notice.
That's why, because they weren't alive to notice. Okay. So basically I shall do that and that and I shall do that and that. Combat tracker moved. There we go. And then when I press the last button, you'll realise what you noticed. And before you ask, they've got cutting devices, so they most certainly can cut their way through any bulkheads you try to close in front of them. So while the pilot has to deal with pilots have to deal with getting the ship out and Aloysius needs to keep an eye. Doesn't actually say he has to do anything down there. Had to keep an eye on the power flow. It would appear that psychotic worker drones are assaulting both the bridge and engineering at the same time. Wow, who would have thought that? So Sula is in the dramatic task. No one else is in a dramatic task. You can, of course, choose to support Sula in her dramatic task, or you can, of course, try and fight off the drones. The choice is yours. And bear in mind, stun batons and stun guns very much work against robots. They're electrical. Okay, so let's see what happens when we say next round, and it's Sula to go first on her dramatic. Okay, so Han obviously can support you on the piloting rolls, so you probably want to roll him first.
Yes. And we'll. It's piloting, right?
Yes. He's going to give you a +1 bonus. Now you get to make. Are you multi-actioning? There's no penalty for not. It's just doubling the chances of critical fails, I suppose, but also doubling your chances of getting successes.
Well, we've got worker drones there coming at us. The faster I do this, the faster I can help with the drones, I guess.
Okay, so we'll do the I'll just get you to roll. You don't need to do the modifiers because we can do it all in our heads. It's not a problem. So technically, you're making these rolls at -4, but because you're an ace, you're only making them at -2. Ensign Han gives you a +1 bonus to one roll this round. So if you want to, but because you're a rocket jock, you can multi-action. If you multi-action, you'll get to make 2 rolls a round. This round, the first roll will be at -1, the second roll will be at -2. So it's up to you if you want to make just 1 roll or 2 rolls. You need 6 tokens in 4 rounds.
Actually, yeah, I think I'm just going to go with 1 to start with. I may, at the next time I have to do this,
Yep.
I may
seems
double it.
perfectly okay.
This
Absolutely
point.
fine by me. Make your piloting roll. I will just take 1 off the result. So that's a failure of 3. You got 7 bennies, and I don't have any more. Other than if being really evil and spending them on the worker drones, I don't have anything to spend them on. An 11,
All right, there's an
which is a
11.
10, which translates to a 10, which means in this round you have got 2 of the 6 tokens you need to fly the ship out of the gas giant and save everyone. Okay, it looks like worker drone. It looks like the worker drone here is going to have to attack Kachansky. That dice didn't even roll; it just slid across the desktop. Did you notice that?
Kachansky!
Don't forget, actually, I should have rolled for the others, shouldn't I? They might have survived. Oh well, I forgot. Doesn't matter.
So Chen and Peterson dead as well.
Quite possibly. Dr. Spock, you're up, sir.
Okay, we're supposed to be. I'm going to shoot a drone.
Okay. Do you want to shoot Worker Drone 4 or Worker Drone 3? Doesn't really matter. It's just.
Rich is not watching me.
Okay, I've targeted a drone for you.
I shot it with a 5.
Yeah. But you only need a 4 because it's against defense 4, so that's a hit. Did we sort out your damage on the stun gun? We did not. Let's open it up and change it to 2d6 plus 2. Okay, you should, if you on the combat tab, you should find your damage for the stun gun there. You shake the drone. If you shake something and it remains shaken and you shake it again, it will basically make a wound. So shaking can be quite good. Are you happy with shaking, or do you want to re-roll the damage?
I'll take the shake.
Okie dokie. The other worker drone's going to come forwards and attempt to attack you. You dodge deftly to the side as the cutting torch fails to slice into your rather soft. Kendra.
Right.
Are you saying he's a softie?
No, he's human. Our flesh is quite soft when it comes to laser cutting torches.
Kendra grits her teeth and reminds herself that they're drones, they're robots, then they're not really people, so she can fight back against them. Raises the stun gun and points it at worker drone 1. Closes her eyes a little bit and pulls the trigger.
Okay. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. This might be a good time to use your convictions as well.
Which is exactly what I've done. But I targeted
yes, you
it.
did. Oh, of course, you didn't turn it. You didn't roll. It's treated it as a stun gun attack, hasn't it?
Oh, of course it has. Yeah. So I'll just roll damage on it then.
Yeah, just roll damage on it. 2d6 plus 2 damage. You shake it. That's nice though. When you roll the damage, it overrides the check, so that's nice.
Yes, I'm going to spend a penny on that damage roll.
Okay, you've still got it targeted. Roll again. Oh look, it leaves an oil patch behind as it explodes into parts.
Well done, Kendra.
Unfortunately, the worker drone you shook unshakes, and basically, however, its cutting torch doesn't seem to be working, so it just tries to. It slashes at you with just a nasty cutting device, which fails to penetrate your armor because you're wearing your uniform. If Aloysius is wearing his uniform, he doesn't have any armor on. Dirty. Aloysius, so what are you up to?
Aloysius, well, there's none of them shaking. So Aloysius is going to target one and his tongue.
And your conviction.
Yes, good point. Conviction time. This is the final escape. If you have got conviction, now's the time to spend it. And also make sure you got lots of bennies to keep your conviction going once you've spent it. Well, that's the end of that worker drone, isn't it? Nicely done. And Dr. Spock is going first. Unless anyone wants to spend bennies to move up the combat tracker in front of... Which worker drone is that? That is...
All the drones are dead, right? In the engineering?
No, there's... No.
No, there's one left, and he's going before both of us.
Well, I guess I'm going to him again after I activate my conviction.
You basically how do you spend conviction? You drag it to the chat window, don't you?
Yeah, you drag the conviction into the chat window.
That's it.
Yeah.
I know how to keep it going. I just suddenly had a mind blank on how to use it in the first place. A 7 hits. Oh, you keep rolling. Yeah, you keep rolling shooting. That's fine. Oh no, you did it. You did it right. Ignore me. It's coming up as vigor. Roll the damage. It's because they've got the word stun in them somewhere, and so they're programmed to treat it as a test. 2 wounds. Nicely done. It's not knocked out. It's destroyed. Okay.
Oh.
Kendra.
All right. Kendra is going to maintain conviction.
Okay. Okay,
and Kendra's going to try a multi-action. First of all, she's going to shoot the other worker drone.
Okay.
And she's not looking at it. She's just kind of pointing her arm down the corridor and blazing away, which seems to have worked. And while she does so, she's screaming up the corridor to where Sula and Han are at the con. Like, get us out of here quickly!
Please, please. Oh, there's more worker drones. Just fly, you fools.
You get too loud and your microphone, your sound gate cuts out.
I
And you
do.
get a +1.
I get a +1, but I'm going to use my free reroll because why not?
To turn it into a +3.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right.
Now, obviously, you're down in engineering. Is there anything you want to do down there that might help the ship, Aloysius? Have we lost you again? As in, you can hear us, but we can't hear you because you're too far away from your microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
There we go. Yeah, I'm going to use my repair skill
Yes.
to give us support to our pilot, to Sula.
Sounds perfectly reasonable to me. Off you go, sir. Fiddling with the engine flows and maximizing
Right,
power
right.
lines. Completely agree. Okay, well that would be +5, but unfortunately it caps out at +4, doesn't it? So,
But this setting uses the power control rule, and if Ensign Han, instead of doing support, makes an electronics roll, he can transfer power from the shields to the engines, which can give up to a +4 if you transfer all power from the shield. Which isn't the support; it's a power transfer to change the handling.
indeed.
But if we take all of the power from the shield, what kind of effect will that have on the boat from the environment outside?
Or only take
It's
some of the power and
structurally
cancel out.
sound.
Yeah,
It's
only take some of the
structurally
power
sound, so.
to cancel out 2 of the points of handling penalty because your ace cancels out the other 2 points anyway.
Okay.
That
So yeah,
Then
make Han make an electronics roll. There's no downside if he fails. If he succeeds, you get a +6 bonus on your piloting roll. Which he does succeed. So it reduce effectiveness of your shields if something goes wrong. But at the moment now you get to make a piloting roll with a +6 bonus.
And then
Okay,
you could do it twice.
Oh,
You could do
wait,
one
my
at +6
conviction.
and one that's a straight roll as well.
If you haven't spent your conviction, you spent your conviction. Go for it. So that make your Are you going to? Do you want to make a single roll, or are you going to multi-action this round?
we got so many bonuses. I think maybe now would be the time because I've got to get how many successes?
You've got
5 more.
You need 4 more. You've got 2 successes already.
Okay.
You've got this is your second turn. You've got 4 tones in total to get 6. So you've got a +6 bonus on your first. If you multi-action, you get +6 on your first roll and no modifiers on your second roll.
All right, then I'm but I think this one will be the best time to do it because there's all kinds of help.
Agreed.
I'm going to do 2 at this point.
Okie dokie. Make your first roll at +6. That gets you 16.
Alrighty, and
Which means you've succeeded. 16.
Second roll.
16.
24.
24. Okay, which means you've got 8 successes. Right. After the first round. Oh, that's breaming. Escape velocity ignition. Okay. It's a dramatic task instead of just flaming complication. Plunges is never seen again, and everyone would have died. If the dramatic task succeeds, you gain 1 more point of damage control, which gets you 6 points of damage control. Every 2 extra task tokens gains another point, up to a maximum of 3 points. You only needed 6 and you've got 8, so that gets you 8 damage control tokens. Okie dokie. So, basically, with 6 or more damage tokens accrued during the mission, the Tangaroa, I can't say Tangaroa for some reason. Tangaroa blasts free of the planet's atmosphere and achieves stable orbit.
Hooray!
Assistance
Send out a distress call.
Assistance arrives within the day, and even all incapacitated crew members survive. So,
And they get some nice samples of bog monster.
and you get nice samples of bog monster. Congratulations! I hope you enjoyed it, but you have survived. The captain is dead. Give yourself a round of applause. You
I was
deserve
worried
it.
that we were.
Woohoo!
Good job, guys. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. Yeah, and basically, as soon as you succeeded that, you had your 6. But if for any reason that had well, that's the one where if you fail, you're dead anyway. But
Right.
yeah, 4 or 5 damage control points. You don't get high enough to break free, and you have to resort to escape pods. So you launch the escape pods, and you lose the ship. It falls back into the planet, breaks apart. And the escape pods are saved. 3 or fewer points. You basically launch the escape pods. They do not achieve escape velocity, and all hands were lost. So congratulations, you've got the best result. 90%.
We saved everyone.
You saved anyone who wasn't killed in the initial explosion.
Yeah.
Contact. So congratulations. I hope you enjoyed that one. It was a lot of fun.
Very much.
I'm not sure what we'll do. I'm not sure what we'll do about next Tuesday. We might just have one off and come back in the new year, and we'll get book 6 started. So the quicker we get through book 6, the quicker we can start Deadlands. I do have a one shot on
22nd.
the 22nd. Yes, up to 8. They've got. Yep, that's going to be a Christmas related adventure. I will say no more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
that
when you say we'll have next week off, so presumably that would be not next week. Then the 24th is the next Tuesday, which is Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And then the next Tuesday would be the 31st, which is New Year's Eve.
So yeah, and basically I think we'll call it unless someone else wants to run a one shot next Tuesday, or I come up with something before next Tuesday, which I might. I'll let you know in the chat. Well, this might be the last Tuesday of the year, but we'll have a discussion offline. But definitely on the next game will be definitely on the 22nd, which will be the last Sunday of the year before we start our new campaign next year, Flash Gordon. Oh, we can't have that, but I have got a tune that's Flash RO.
Uh-oh.
Not OO, just RO, and it's a really good. It's a corker. I like it. So we'll be using that one. So take care, one and all. If we don't see you before the new year, have a good holiday and Christmas or whatever you want to call it. Hanukkah, isn't it? I don't know what any other ones are, and the new year. But I'll see most of you on the 22nd. I hope so.
Kwanzaa.
See you then. Yeah. Take care.
Alrighty.